Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm your host FGR Daniels and welcome to Beard Cave Entertainment. So without further ado, I just want to get in and speak about one of my favorite builds at the moment. It's honestly one of my first successful builds and it's perfect for the entry-level player such as myself and likely you too if you're looking for a good solid build to get you through your first round of Titan hunts and then progress through into +1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth, and any other content. So my Samurai God build is actually, relatively straightforward. I've recently fallen in love with Soulstone Survivors, if I have to be completely honest, and I can safely say that so far it's one of my favorite games of 2026. And maybe you felt the same, but at first I genuinely, felt it appeared quite shallow. But the more I played, the more enthralled I became. While I wish it had a solid narrative, so it could compete with other ARPGs, and I really wish it did, and in my opinion, it's a game waiting to have a strong narrative. Even if you go for cinematics in kind of like a Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker kind of style, I still think it would do quite well, but that's me, and that's neither here nor there with today's build. So, as I said, the Samurai God build is perfect for those of you struggling to get through content, and hopefully I'll be able to help you with that. So just to give you, a little indication of some of the numbers you can reach in case you haven't reached anything before. I did my first Titan hunt run through. I was on Sigil 5 and it was my first Void King kill and I topped out at a total of 2.4 trillion damage. Now I was absolutely ecstatic and over the moon, but reality quickly kicked in and brought me right down to earth when I realized that by the time you actually delve quite deep into the game, the build itself that I'm about to give you will be tested in different ways, so you may very well have to alter it. I also did a Titan Hunt Sigil 1 +1 and I topped out at 1.8 trillion damage. Now I have to be honest, RNG absolutely massacred me in that run, and it was what it was. My 1.5-year-old was pulling out of me as well, so I lost both my lives before I got to the corrupted Spellblade, but it is what it is. He's a good kid, but thank you. Right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the build I'm giving you right now is based off of the Void King kill. So class is obviously Samurai. The weapon we're using is none other than Chaotic Oath, and while mine is presently at +6, I got the 2.4 trillion damage when it was at +2. Okay, your runes, and we'll go versatility first, is Weapon Expert, Reroll Mastery, and Skill Mastery Chaos, where we'll import Chaotic Surge and Chaotic Swirl. Now your tenacity runes, Divine Legacy, Misfortune's Embrace, Multicast Mastery, and Elemental Flow. Now, if you don't have Elemental Flow, I personally wanted the extra survivability, so I went over here and got Dash Mastery. It gave me that little bit of extra space to work with until I really got comfortable moving as quickly and as, I would say, carefully as you need to when you're fighting against one of the corrupted assholes. And let's be honest, they are assholes. I found the Void King mechanically was quite straightforward. I played very high level World of Warcraft back in Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, and early Mist Pandaria, but or Siege of Orgrimmar, then I stopped, it wasn't for me. So yeah, so those are your runes, and again you can swap these out if you feel that you can do it quite better, and if you do and you have any suggestions, I would absolutely love to hear from you, and all of that jazz. Now I do have class specific notes, or not class but build specific notes, which will be both in the YouTube description and also in the link there on Steam as well. So something to be aware of, and we'll come back here to Skill Mastery Chaos. Chaotic Surge is acquired by leveling your Demon Hunter to Prestige level 5. Chaotic Swirl is acquired by simply unlocking the Chaos Walker. Now maybe that's changed, but that's how I got them and that's how you'll get them. Now this is a build I genuinely haven't tested with any other weapon here with the Samurai. For the simple reason, Coercion and Reckoning play a big role. So your abilities are as follows. Coercion and Reckoning our weapon abilities. Next is Chaotic Swirl and Chaotic Surge, followed by Bloodlust and Ruthlessness. Now, as a side note, after a little bit of research before I put the video together, Ruthlessness, you know, when you delve very deep, becomes a little bit, shall we say, on the mediocre to useless side, as bosses develop quite a lot of armor. So you may have to alter the build just a little if you're really aiming for much deeper runs. But again, if you're like me, you're a set number of hours in, and you're looking to really kind of acquire materials to build weapons, to get all of the abilities and so on, then the Samurai God build is perfect for you. Now, your stat priority. Multicast, cast frequency, critical damage, damage modifier, area, and critical chance. So multicast, cast frequency, and critical damage are self-explanatory. They're very important and part of the build. Now, the reason I have damage as kind of low to medium and area as low and critical chance as low, Chaotic Swirl is your crit engine. It will crit incredibly high, and you can build up in multiples of 30% up to 60%. So just focus there as opposed to getting individual crit chance. It's simply a waste of leveling, and it's just an absolute waste. As for area, again, spec into area via the aforementioned abilities. It'll just make life a lot easier. Now, for me with this particular run, you know, on, shall we say, Titan Hunt 0, Sigil 5, my health was between 300 and 350 plus, and my movement speed was 150 to 200%. There was a particular run I even topped out at 210%, but that's neither here nor there. So again, I do advise you just to look at some of the build notes I've supplied you with and go from there. Again, I'm always happy to get a little bit of feedback and to kind of go from there. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you with some footage of the class in action, but it's not from my 2.4 trillion run with the Void King. OBS failed on me and I lost all of the footage. So instead, I'm going to give you footage from my Titan Hunt Sigil 1+1 run, where I topped out at about 1.8 trillion total damage. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the build. Again, feedback would be very much appreciated. Have a very nice day and enjoy.